Hey guys, Alan Earnshaw here. Nicky Holtzkin's coming back to ONE FC June the 10th. It'll be one fight night 11. It's his first fight back in just over a year. His last fight was against Sinsanuk Klinmi, which he lost by KO. Um, I saw that he was fighting again, and I just started to remember some of his older fights, including this one, which is a rematch against Borkow. He lost the first fight. He loses this one as well. Spoilers. But between the two fights, he had a few good wins, including a win over Lam Song Kran and Marco PK. There were a few others too. But I was just thinking this one would be a fun one to break down a little bit. There's a few things about it, like Nicky's a very good boxer. He's about 4 inches taller than Borkow. And of course, like he's not, he's grown now. He fights at 77 kilos. This is at 70. So yeah, he's considerably bigger than Borkow, but let's get into it. It's just a fun one to look back on. I mean, you see, Borkow, you can tell straight away he respects his boxing. He's keeping his hands nice and tight. Doing this with his knee, but just the way that he lifts it up and follows it with a jab, it's a good way of keeping your opponent thinking that a teep might come or a jab might come. It's just you can eventually switch into a knee if you'd like to. But yeah, so he's just picking him away. I think in their first fight, Borkow made good use of the teep against Nicky just to try and control the range. I mean, that's as clean as you can get. So he catches the teep under the heel, brings it up and to the side of him here, and then just doesn't even really need to, but he'll trip out the back leg, the supporting leg. But you can already see he's got his hand across his shoulder here. So I'd say that's kind of how you drill it. So I'll show you again. Just give me a sec. I'll put it in slow motion. Go away. Okay. So just one more. The teep comes, catches the heel, brings it to the outside of his hip here. And there you go. Nicky's already falling down here. There you go. Easy. So that's a nice little one to drill with you, while you're at the gym. See, so there you go. So Borkow's gone from using the jab and then lifting up the knee to cut off the range a little bit. So now he's using the teep as well. It's such a useful way of cutting down the ring, especially if you're a shorter opponent. You need to try and keep everything in your own range. It's a heavy right hand by Nicky. A fast left kick by Borkow. That's what he's famous for. But you can see the size difference. Borkow just keeping nice and tight. I mean, something to remember. I mean, this wouldn't have scored, but I'm surprised that Nicky kind of went down like that. I mean, it's very easy. I mean, that'll kind of just be like a dominating feeling. Yeah, I mean, Nicky's returning with good jabs too. I probably should have done a video where Nicky wins. I might do one soon, but this is a fun fight to try and break down. The way that they both use their weapons. Nice teep by Borkow. He just gets a kick underneath his right arm as well. Something to remember is, okay, even if you're against a very scary puncher, as long as you're keeping your hands tight, they can't really hit you. So you can just get away with being very safe, like Borkow is here. He's picking his shots. Also, I'll just show you that the low kick of Borkow just there. Watch. So you'll see how his foot's flat on the floor. A lot of people try and come up on their toes when they kick, but you don't have to. You can still generate a lot of power. But he does take a little step before he does it, just to open up his hips. There you go. It's very small, but he does it just to open up his hips, just to get that extra bit of power. Now, a lot of people talk about bringing whether your arm should be up or down when you throw the low kick. Um, Borkhouse is down here. I mean, the thing is, it's not really a right or wrong way. It's just when either way is going to be useful or safer. Well, Borkhouse got away with it there. Again, digging away with that teep. Jab, faking the teep, faking the knee, teeping. It's all really effective stuff and simple. It's plenty that you can just work on. See, so what it does is just working that jab and the teep like that. Is it shuts down Nicky. Now, Borkow at this time was a notorious slow starter, but he doesn't have to be working fast if he's controlling things like that. No, and he's still staying safe. So he's just digging away. I mean, Nicky's already trying to back away from it. Doesn't really know how to deal with it. So this is perfect. Jab, teep, knee. When you watch this again, so it goes jab, teep. Now, like to Nicky, this either looks like a punch is going to come or a knee. Sure enough, it's a knee this time. So it's really simple. Borkow can win this with say four weapons. He's got his jab, his teep, his knee, and his left kick. Pretty much he could win the fight with that. You don't need to be great at everything. You like to be top level. You can get away with being great at one or two things and just be good at stuff. Like just get to somewhere where you're working on everything, but you're a specialist in just a few things. Yodsen Klai is a great example. I mean, Tawan Chai is another one. You can build your whole style around with the weapons that you're gifted with, and everybody's got something that they're good at. That was nice. And because Borkow pushed his look how he really pushes down with his hand, which means that Nicky kind of lands on the top of his shoulders or his head first. Right, you see the bottom there. So he lands heavy onto the top of his shoulders. It's an uncomfortable feeling. And of course, it looks good for the judges too. Okay. I mean, that did land by Nicky, but Borkow was quick to fire back. I feel like Nicky really started to perform better when he did go up a weight. I think he's probably struggling to make 70. He's very big for the weight. There you go. I'm gonna get Borkow doing that again now. He's kind of found his rhythm with it. Jab teep. Nicky tried to counter it then. Let's see how he did it. So, I mean, he's really struggling with this teep. I mean, part of it is that he doesn't want to move his hands away from his face to try and defend it with his hands. And then tries to sweep out that leg. I mean, that's better by Nicky. I mean, personally, if I was in Nicky's corner, I mean, this is great work there. No. If I was in Nicky's corner, what I'd try and get him to do is instead of just trying to keep his feet there, but push back with his feet and then like trying to come back in with his boxing. I think that would be a good strategy against that. Um, but Borkow's teeping very safely. He's teeping in a way that even if he misses, his leg isn't like he's not pushing forward too much, so he's going to come off balance. Now he's starting to put his work together now. But it's all the same thing. Jab, teep, knee. Jab, teep, knee. Then he'll throw in a kick. It's all very simple work. He's really not mixing it up because he doesn't have to. And there's a nice fast kick. And it keeps trying to, he's tried to sweep Nicky's leg a few times like that. Maybe Nicky's standing a bit too side on. Maybe Borkow's seeing a vulnerability there. But yeah, I mean, it just shows you like simplicity that is sometimes the key to victory. You know, even like newbie guys, or people just starting training, they can jab and they can teep to a decent level. You know, there's that kick back to a teep, and this is Nicky Holtzkin. Like he was experienced at this point. If you look back at his record, I think he's had like 112 kickboxing fights now, but he was already experienced here. Even though he was younger, he was still very experienced. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's just getting dealt with like basics really, and that's not to insult either of the fighters. It's just that that's all. The strategy's working, and it's something that all fighters can do really. You know, it's a good strategy. He's controlling the ring. He's keeping himself safe with long attacks, even against a taller opponent. But what it's also done is given Borka the freedom to start picking up the pace when he wants to as well. I mean, it must be so frustrating to be fighting someone that's doing that to you, just over and over again. Going into the third round, you expect Nicky to be really trying to pick up the pace and try and get Borkab out of there. Surely he knows that he's down on the first two rounds. Let's see. Come on. I will get better at video editing. And, I'll cut down slow motion sections and stuff, and I'll clip out like this kind of stuff. But yeah, for now, we do have to experience it the same as I do. See, straight back to it. There's that kick. The way that he's fighting is very safe. If he starts trying to like kick him, just kick or really try and mix it up, there you go. There's that sweep again. He's just leaving himself vulnerable for no reason, taking unnecessary risks. You see how simple that was? So what he does, he fakes a right hand. Teep, teep. Fakes a right hand, but reaches through. Reaches through him, traps his leg with one side, and then just like pulls across. Similar to what we saw earlier. And Nicky goes down. It's not a huge, I mean, it's not a big score, especially in kickboxing rules. But, it's dominating and it's frustrating. I think Borka hurt his foot there. I mean, the thing is as well, this is not long after the Andre Dida fight for Borka. So, I think he was, pretty aware of what happens if you get caught with like just a wild overhand, which you've seen Nicky throw a few times. He's made the necessary adjustments for that to not happen again. Extended guard work in there. Look, so as well as the teep, he's using the jab and the teep. He's using this extended guard. See, so he's got this hand out, arm covered. I mean, out there, it's not in place, but you see, he's defending this right hand. He knows that the right hand's going to come over the top. So if he puts his hand out there, he's covered, like with his shoulder here, if the right hand comes over the top. But he's also like kind of controlling the shoulder as well. So, he's pretty safe. There you go. And again, just shutting down Nicky's hands. Like you'll see sometimes in Thai fights, they'll kind of reach out and just touch each other's hands like that quite often. And you'll see that when they do, they sometimes bring up their front knee as well. And it's just a way of controlling the hand so that neither of them can punch, but neither of them can elbow either. And sometimes you'll see them like figure their way into clinching from there. But yeah, the way that he's doing that, just shutting his hands down. He's what Adesanya did it to Alex Pereira too. You'll see it a little bit. Obviously with MMA gloves, so I can grab. Jab, teep, jab, knee. I mean, it's just really, really simple but effective stuff. You know, when your coach tells you to go and teep a bag 100 times on each leg and stuff like that, this is when it kind of makes a difference. Jab, jab, teep, kick. So simple. See, he throw like so. You see, Burkhardt threw that kick and got touch of the left hook. So straight to putting his hands back up, not taking those risks anymore. Ooh. So yeah, Nicky threw a head kick there, but came off balance. Not sure. Sorry, I'll just see if Burkhardt defended that. He really didn't see it. Burkhardt really didn't see it, but yeah, Nicky falls over and then leaves himself in a vulnerable position. See, I mean, Burkhardt really not, just not respecting him now. So pushes both hands back, but then keeps him to into his face, which is quite a, in Thailand it's quite offensive to teep someone in the face. But I mean, a fight's a fight. Boom, works. Then teep to the body. The Burkhardt's moving around a little bit more, trying to stay out of trouble. He's got less than a minute left. Kick, jab. Yeah, just moving around now. You'll see, like, sometimes in Thailand, that in the last round of the fight, if one's clearly won, he'll just back away and just kind of sit back on the ropes, maybe dance around a little bit, but not really want to get into a fight anymore, just because they've already won the fight. And yeah, they've already won the fight. It's kind of to the opponent, because they're not going to take any more punishment, and it's less risky for them. Yeah, Burkhardt sort of wrestled him down, and see they do that kind of dancing. Nicky just got a little bit desperate and fell over. So there you go. I mean, it's a way of dealing with an offensive, a taller opponent that's, offensive, trying to push forward. You can see all the way through the fight that it was just the same strategy all the time. Hands up. I suppose that Nicky didn't complain that knee was low, but he didn't. Yeah, but yeah, just simple but effective stuff. Using the jab and the feint, like just lifting up the knee, just to cut off space in the ring is a smart thing to do. And then build onto that with teeps and like switching knees, super effective. And there you go. So if you enjoyed the content, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm going to try and upload a little bit more regularly than I have been recently, but yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon.